See, the wholeness that it has only on condition that all of the parts function together ideally. That's its, see, this is an emergent condition. It is an emergent condition. It is not intrinsic to the thing. If it were intrinsic to the thing, it could never depart from it.
Well, if you say that, then it seems as though you're suggesting that wholeness and oneness is periodic. That at one time we have wholeness, and at one time we have oneness, and at one time we have the many.
Yes.
And it seems as though,
that's right.
In my own thinking, it seems as though that that's not the case. It would seem that either there is one or there is not one. Either there is one or there is the many.
You're absolutely right. These things are in the visible world. And therefore, if there are going to be these things purely, it can't be among things that are physical and depend upon other factors coming together into a unity. Therefore, the question is now, looking at this word, being, that we used before, right, whether or not these words and this vocabulary fits that uniquely, but only appears in the physical world episodically, periodically, and only manifests itself under certain conditions. That's right. We want to see whether or not we can gain an insight into the legitimacy of these terms when applied in the physical world and lifted up into the intelligible world where they stay constant and inseparable. That's right. Yeah, that's the goal. Yeah. So what we're saying is that somehow in the world of becoming, this is the world of becoming and appearance, we see the presence of these higher qualities, but only as shadows. Their fullness is in the intelligible realm. And that's why he is saying, hey, get up there and take a look. Mingle in this world. Get into this world. Experience it as much as you can. Yeah.
It would seem that health exists in the visible world, along with disease, and so that in the invisible world there is neither health nor disease, because those are things that exist in the physical world.
You're absolutely right. That's absolutely right. There has to be the quality of health in that world raised to this word. That quality of healthiness, fullness, full being, uninterrupted excellence. That's right. Health in the body is a shadow of that. Yeah, that's right. Sure.
You were saying that everything is a one, all things are ones, and the one is an infinite sequence of ones.
Yeah, and the mind can only function grasping one. Oneness all the time. So it's like trying to drive down the freeway and to read a billboard, to look at a billboard sign and not read it.
So if the one is an infinite sequence of ones, the warrior and the philosopher are just two states of the infinite sequence of ones. There's a lot more to it than just that, right?
Because, yes, he's inviting you. If the warrior can become, in fact, the philosopher, and the philosopher, in fact, becomes the warrior, if there isn't any difference between them, and they both achieved a state of mind which can be called one, then what kind of one is that in the mind, which can be present in both, yet they appear, see the word appear all runs through the whole thing, so different and distinct from one another.
So the warrior and the philosopher is just another spin on the bug and the butterfly.
The what?
Another spin on the bug and the butterfly.
I don't know that spin.
The worm and the butterfly?
Yeah, the worm and the
Caterpillar and the butterfly?
Yeah. One is the other and the other is the one. I'm just trying to figure out, if the one is an infinite sequence of many ones, they're all one, why he chooses a particular warrior and a philosopher to play out this game? I mean, you could just as easily be a bug I guess there's other contradictions too.
Well,
Oh, is he just trying to show, he's just trying to show a contradiction so that you pop into the contemplation, is that it, or?
well, first of all, I appreciate you trying to, keep talking, because that saved me from your first question, which I enjoyed more than
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I'm joking. No. Sometime when you have a good question going, just let let them have it and don't save them with another. The question you're raising, as I understand it, is there some inner need why Plato had to choose in describing the Republic the role of the guardian? Yeah. And his whole purpose is that there are three parts of the soul, and what you need is that the intellect and the mind, if you want, right, the spirited part, not spirit active, and the appetitive, right? Pardon?
The physical?
Yeah, appetites, the appetitive, right, spirited part. This is the soul. This is the, all right. And his primary goal is to try to show that justice in itself is its own reward. That's his primary goal. The whole Republic is nothing other. Matter of fact, its title is dikaiosune. Righteousness is a better word than the word justice, because the word justice in our society is intimately connected with law. And it shouldn't be, because that's not what he's doing. It's righteousness. As of the quote I just read previously was the state of justice. Now, if this is the condition, he's saying, look here, these two have to come together. The spirited part has to accept the intellect or mind as its ruler.
You just proved to me why it's
Right? So from this, he naturally gets the ruler, that you have to rule your own soul. To show that and to explore how you can become a ruler of your own soul, he said, that's so difficult, I'll make an analogy. And that is, the soul is going to be said to be like the city-state. And therefore, I'm going to design a city-state, because it's easier to see in something large than see something small. And therefore, there must be a special class of people in the state that are going to be guardians, rulers, just like in the soul there must be a part within us that's going to be the ruler. And we'll call that ruler our guardian. And he calls that guardian in the state the soldier, the warrior king.
You got ahead of me here.
Okay? Does that help answer the question? Or we can go back to it now?
You elaborated more than I thought you would, but
Oh.
that's probably good. But I thought that maybe the mind and the spirit would be like a philosopher. A spirited mind would be a philosopher, and a spirited appetite might be a warrior. That's not the way to think about it.
No, I think this takes the exact same form, by the way, as the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna the warrior is the philosopher. He becomes the student of Krishna, and finally he has to learn how to become the philosopher in action to achieve what the other achieves in contemplation. For in the Bhagavad Gita, there's no difference between action and contemplation. They're both using the mind in some direct way. Pardon me?
A spirited appetite like rage or hate or
Yeah.
you can actually, that's
Well-
on a mass scale, that's war.
Yeah, and the whole question is, can you